What if I told you that to melt snow ahead of your car while driving, you'd need more power than a nuclear reactor? One guy actually asked if we could use microwaves to melt ice, and trust me, the real answer is way more insane than you think. David wasn't joking. He actually wanted to install a flamethrower or a microwave cannon on his car, flame-producing device on a vehicle's front end to dissolve snow and ice prior to driving over it. However, I've now concluded that such a flame device would be impractical. So what about using a concentrated microwave radiation system? Surprisingly, David, your flame-based approach is genuinely the more feasible option between these two concepts. The flame system also offers the benefit that, contrary to the microwave option, it wouldn't disrupt wireless internet connectivity, except if you point it straight at your wireless device. I initially investigated this topic during the harsh winter of 2015, when Boston experienced an absolutely extraordinary accumulation of snowfall. We had received more precipitation in 1 month than Fairbanks, Alaska typically experiences during a complete winter season. Our public transportation system had failed, and our building structures were caving in. The city official held a news briefing, during which he genuinely declared, "I'm at a loss for words to tell anyone anymore. With any luck it will cease at some point." Therefore snow clearing was occupying our thoughts. Nevertheless, snow is challenging to dissolve. Your microwave concept definitely appears like it ought to be more feasible than a flame device, since microwaves are neat and effective. Indeed, we don't employ flame devices in our cooking areas, typically, but there's a major issue. Microwaves warm liquid water extremely effectively, but they function quite poorly on solid water, which explains why thawing food uniformly in your microwave can be challenging. Luckily, there are alternative methods to transfer energy into the snow. Beyond your flame device proposal, you might, for instance, employ infrared heating elements or laser beams. But regardless of your choice, you'll encounter an even more significant challenge. It requires a tremendous amount of energy to dissolve snow. Dissolving 1 gram of snow requires approximately 335 joules of power. To express that differently, a 60-watt traditional light bulb can dissolve roughly 1 pound of snow per hour, or with a 60-watt equivalent LED light bulb, it can only dissolve 1 pound of snow every 6 or 7 hours. In any case, this represents a scenario where a light bulb would not constitute a wise choice. 12 inches of snow holds approximately the equivalent amount of water as 1 inch of rainfall, more or less. So let's say you've experienced a substantial snowfall of roughly 12 inches, representing 1 inch's worth of water, and that you wish to dissolve a 9-foot wide path while traveling at 55 miles per hour. If you're frustrated by all these various and contradictory measurements, this occurs to be one of those pleasant physics scenarios I enjoy, where we can simply multiply all the numbers we're examining in an online calculation tool that manages units for us, and the result becomes the measurement we desire. We require 574 megawatts of power. Regrettably, that's not the result we'd prefer. The nuclear power plant on a military vessel, for instance, generates under 200 megawatts. To dissolve snow ahead of your vehicle, you'd require 3 of those, which might create additional complications. How about your initial flame device concept? Petroleum may possess an exceptionally high power concentration, but it's insufficient. Regardless of how large the container on your flame device becomes, you'll exhaust fuel continuously. Fuel efficiency in America is frequently measured in miles per gallon of petroleum. With your flame device consuming fuel, your efficiency would be roughly 17 feet per gallon, and you'd be burning fuel at a pace of nearly 5 gallons per second. You'd likely be better served abandoning the dissolving concept completely and following the example of railway organizations who utilize jet engine-powered snow removal equipment to clear railway lines. Ultimately, it's simpler to just relocate the snow from your path. It appears David was correct about the flame device being unfeasible. However, if you aren't cautious with the jet engine snow removal equipment, you might encounter a separate issue.